Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah, and today I will be guiding you through a yoga class focusing on the front splits. So if the splits aren't part of your practice, that is fine. You can still do this class. We will be working towards the splits. It would be helpful for this class to have 2 blocks handy to use. If you don't have blocks, you can grab 2 books that are about the same size, or anything else that you have that you could substitute in for the blocks. And then when you are ready, you can begin by lying down on your back. Take your time to get there. There's no need to rush. And you can take up as much space as you like when you lie down on your back. Begin to notice your breath. Notice how your body is feeling. And specifically paying attention to the lower body. Observing how the hamstrings, how the hips, the hip flexors, and the quadriceps are feeling right now. Notice where you are holding on to some tension, tightness, or stiffness, or soreness. And can you use your breath to help you move through class today? Begin to wiggle into your fingers and toes. Hug your knees into your chest when you are ready. Rock a little bit from side to side. From here, plant the left foot down. The left leg can be bent, or you can extend it long, whatever you like. What we're going to do from here is extend the right leg long up towards the ceiling. So if this feels like too much of a stretch with the left leg straight, feel free to bend the knee instead, planting the foot down onto the ground. And then you can interlace your fingers around the back of the right leg. And see if you can make this pose a little bit more active by pressing your hands into your leg, trying to bring your leg closer towards you. But then can you press your leg back in towards your hands, bringing your leg towards the ground. Feel your entire back body resting down onto the ground. Maintain a nice, steady, smooth flow of the breath. And we'll be here for one more big breath. From here, bring your arms alongside your body and just start to pulse. So it'll be a small movement. Pulse the right leg towards your chest. We'll do about 5 of these. Good. Bring the hands back to the right hamstring. Bring it towards your chest. Just one last little stretch. And then release the leg long. Moving over to the other side, left leg will extend up towards the ceiling. You can choose to have your right leg bent, or you can extend the right leg long for a little bit more of a stretch, more sensation in the pose. So the fingers will interlace around the left leg. Let's activate the hamstring a little bit more. Press your hands into the left hamstring like you are bringing the leg in towards your chest, and then press the leg back into your hands like you are going to bring the leg towards the ground. Keep pressing your hands into the left leg and then your leg back in towards your hands. Can you engage your left hamstring a little bit more here? Let's take 2 more breaths. From here, release your arms long next to your body, and let's just take some little pulses with the left leg moving in towards your body. Let's do 3 more, 2 more, last one, good. Bring your hands to the left leg and just bring it a little bit closer in towards your chest. Hug both knees in towards you, rock from side to side. From here, make your way up into a tabletop position, hands and knees. Bring your big toes together, and then your knees can come farther out towards the edges of your mat. Sit the hips back towards your heels. Reach your arms out in front of you and rest your forehead down onto the mat. Child's pose. And just a reminder here, you can come back to this pose at any point that you like during class. This pose is always available for you. And here in our child's pose, can you allow your hips to come and sink down toward the heels a little bit more? Can you allow your body to soften down towards the ground? Take 1 more big breath. Start to press into your hands, shift your weight forward, come back into tabletop, bringing the knees hip distance apart. Extend your right leg straight back behind you, tucking the toes under, planting the foot down onto the mat, and then just start to shift the weight forward and then back, finding a stretch here for the calf and for the foot. You might also be feeling this in your hamstring. Good, let's just go over and switch to the other side. Extend your left leg back, tucking the toes under, and shift the weight forward and then back. Perhaps noticing which side feels tighter and which side feels more loose. Good. Come back to center. Bring your hands a little bit farther out in front of you. Spread your fingers nice and far apart. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Start to pedal it out through the legs, bending one knee as you straighten the other. Gaze back to your feet, back of the mat. Maybe shift the hips from side to side as well if that feels good. Just find any movement that you like in your downward facing dog. Good. From here, start to walk your feet up to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you would like. You can bring opposite hand to opposite elbow. And allow the head to drop down towards the earth. Letting the head, the neck, the shoulders, the upper body be really heavy. Perhaps as we hold this pose for a little bit longer, you start to straighten out the knees. Otherwise, if you're feeling good where you are, just stay there. Let's stay here for 1 more big breath. Plant your hands down to your mat. Step the left foot back behind you. Lower the left knee down. Reach your arms up. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, bring your hands down to your mat and start to straighten your right leg. Folding down over the right leg. Inhale, walk yourself forward, low lunge. Keep your hands down next to your right foot. Exhale, low lunge. Walk your hands back, fold down over the leg. As you inhale, come forward, low lunge. Lift your heart up. Sit your hips low. As you exhale, half splits. Walk the hands back, fold down over the right leg. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. We'll do one more of these. Inhale, low lunge. Lift your chest up. Lift the crown of the head up. Sit your hips low. Exhale, move back into your half splits. And let's stay here for 5 breaths. If you would like to use your blocks here in half splits, you can do that. Using one for each hand, bringing the ground a little bit closer towards you. Find length through your spine, and then fold down over your leg. Inhale, find length. Exhale to fold down into it. 2 more breaths. Good. Start to shift your weight forward. You can place the blocks off to the side and step up to the top of your mat. Left foot will meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Reach your heart forward. Find so much length through the back body. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. One more of those. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bring opposite hand to opposite elbow, and let's hang out here for a couple of breaths. If you would rather interlace your fingers, bringing the arms behind you and then hands up towards the ceiling, finding a stretch for the shoulders, you can do that. Or if you would like, you can bring your hands down to the ground. Lots of options here, so just find what you like. Good. Let's now step softly the right foot back of the mat. Bring the right knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up, low lunge. Exhale, bring the hands down. Option to use the blocks as we move into half splits and then back to low lunge as well. If you would like to use the blocks, they're always there for you. So exhale, walk the hands back. Find length through the spine and fold down over your left leg. Inhale, come forward, low lunge, sit the hips low, reach the heart up and forward. Exhale, half split. We flow just like this a few more times. Inhale, low lunge, lift the crown of the head up. Sit the left hip a little bit lower towards the earth. Exhale, half splits. Fold down over the left leg, finding a nice long spine. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. The next time we come into half splits, we'll hold it there for 5 breaths. Low lunge, inhale. And then exhale, half splits. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. The next time you inhale here, find lots of length through your spine. And then exhale to settle into the pose. Inhale once again, lift up, find length. Exhale, sink into it just a little bit lower. Still finding length. And think about bringing the left heel towards your left hip, like you are going to scrunch up the mat. Just bringing some more engagement into the left hamstring, making the pose a little bit more active. One more full breath here. Reach your heart forward, fold down over the leg, and then walk yourself forward. You can place the blocks off to the side. Step the right foot up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step the left foot back to the back of your mat. Bring both feet parallel to one another. And you can bring the feet as far apart as you like from here. Placing the hands down to the mat, find length through your spine first, and then fold down over your legs. Maybe bringing the crown of the head down to the ground. It's okay if it's not close to being down to the ground though. You can keep it lifted. Or you can use a block if you like. Wherever you are in this pose is good. Maybe you want to try shifting the weight forward towards the toes and then back towards the heels of the feet. Doing that a few times and then finding your center. Maybe it feels good to lower down onto your forearms. One more big breath. Good. Come back up onto your hands if you lower down. Bring your heels in and your toes out. Bring your hands up onto your hips and come up to stand into a goddess pose or into a wide squat. Let's pulse up and down a few times here. Small range of motion. Getting a little bit deeper here into the hips. From here, bring the hands onto the knees, and let's just move from side to side a little bit. Maybe working one leg towards straight as the other leg bends a little bit deeper. Let's do a few more on each side. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, squat down. Just one more of those. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Come towards the top of your mat. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold down over your legs. Step your right foot back of your mat. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Left foot will come to the left side of your mat. And from here, we'll move into some small pulses with the hips. If you would like, you can use your blocks, bringing your hands onto two of your blocks. Moving into those little pulses. Just softly bouncing the hips up and down. The right knee is lifted up off of the ground. The left leg is bent, right leg is straight. Let's do two more. Good. From here, lower the knee down towards the ground, but keep it lifted just a bit, and then straighten it. Lower the knee down towards the ground, keeping it lifted just to a hover. Straighten the leg. Lower the knee down towards the ground, and lift it up. Let's do three more of those. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good. From here, inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, start to straighten the left leg. You can use your blocks once again if you would like for your hands. Remember, they are there for you. And then inhale, bend your left knee, reach your heart forward, lizard lunge. Exhale, pyramid variation. Fold down over the leg, flowing back and forth just like this. Inhale, lizard pose. Exhale, pyramid pose. Fold down. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Let's do two more just like that. Inhale. Exhale, fold down. One more time, inhale. Exhale, fold down towards the ground, to the inside of your left leg. Bring your hands back to the top of your mat. You can place the blocks off to the side of your mat. And this time, we're going to step the right foot up to the outside of the right hand, coming into our malasana squat. Sit your hips low here. Bring your hands together at heart center. So the heels are in, toes are out. And you can start to shift the weight from side to side. We'll stay here for 3 more full breaths. Right from here, bring your hands down and step the left foot far back behind you, back of the mat. Position the right toes to face forward. Right knee is directly over the right ankle. Left knee is lifted up off of the mat. If you would like to, you can use your blocks here for your hands. From here, we're going to move into those little pulses, softly bouncing the hips up and down. We'll do about 10 of these. Let's do 4 more. Good. From here, lower the left knee down towards the ground, just keeping it lifted slightly over the mat. Lift it back up, lower down. Lift it up, lower it down. Let's do 3 more of these. Lower it down, lift it up, lower it down, lift it up. Good. And from here, reach your heart forward. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten your right leg, fold down towards the inside of your right leg. Inhale, reach your heart forward, bend into your right knee so the knee is over your ankle. A lizard lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose, fold down. Inhale, reach your heart forward, lizard lunge, the knee is bent. Exhale, straighten that leg. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhale, lizard lunge, bend the knee. Exhale, pyramid pose, straighten the knee. 1 more time, here we go. Inhale, reach the heart forward, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg, fold down. Bend your right knee once again. You can place the blocks off to the side of your mat. And then let's come back into that malasana yogi squat. Left foot to the outside of your left hand. Sit your hips low. Hands together at heart center. Your heels are positioned in, toes are out. And you can shift your weights from side to side. From here, bring your hands down to your mat. Step your left foot back of your mat. Right foot is in front. Right knee is over the right ankle. Lower the left knee down to the mat now. From here, you can stay up onto your hands. Or if you would like, you can lower yourself down onto your forearms. Another option is to use your blocks, bringing the ground a little bit closer to you once again, using the blocks on whatever height you like. Three more nice, steady, smooth breaths. In your lizard lunge, wherever you are, can you think about bringing the right knee in towards the right shoulder rather than out to the right side? Start to lift yourself up. If you had lowered down, you can place the blocks off to the side. Tuck your left toes under. And then step up to the top of your mats, this time with straight legs, bringing the feet closer towards one another to hip distance apart. Find length through your spine, and then fold down over your legs. Notice how your lower body is feeling. Notice how the hips and the hamstrings are feeling. Let's do that lizard pose on the other side now. So step your right foot far back behind you, back of the mat. Bring your left foot more towards the left side of your mat. Both hands to the inside of that foot. And then softly bring the right knee down to the ground. Option from here to stay just like this with the arms straight. Or you can use blocks underneath your hands, bringing the ground closer towards you. Another option is you can lower down to the forearms with or without the blocks. You can use the blocks on whichever height you like. But wherever you are, can you think about bringing the left knee closer towards the left shoulder instead of out towards the left side? Stay here in this pose and breathe for 5 breaths. Last couple rounds of breath in this lizard pose. Start to lift yourself up. Place your blocks off to the side of your mat. And this time, let's bring the left foot towards the center of the mat. Tuck the right toes under, lift up the right knee, and then step the left foot back into your downward facing dog. Your feet are hip distance apart. Your hands are shoulder distance apart. You can pedal it out. You can find any movement that feels good for you. Okay, hopefully you are feeling warmed up and ready to move into your splits. And it is okay if you don't come into the splits today. We are just working towards that pose. And if you would rather take a child's pose or any other pose right now, instead of trying the splits, you can absolutely do that. But I hope that you are feeling some activation, some energy, some heat in your lower body. Okay, let's bring the right foot forward in between the hands, top of the mat. Bring the left knee down. And just start to straighten the right leg and then bend it. Let's just do this a few times. You can use your blocks if you would like, or you can just have your hands down to the mat. Just one more time from here. Low lunge. Now I'm going to use my blocks as I work into the splits. So I'm going to come into half splits first. You can stay here using the blocks, or maybe you're not using the blocks. If you would like to move on from here, you can start to bring your right foot farther out in front of you, and then your left leg further back behind you. Move slowly and use your breath as you come into your splits. Then what I like to do is I like to place a block underneath my right hip on the medium height. And you can place it on the lowest height. And you can have this other block here for some support for one of your hands. And then focus on bringing the right hip back just a bit and the left hip forward. You can use your hands on your hips for a little bit of assistance as you do that. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Work with your breath and use your breath to help you. If you had a block underneath your hips, just gently lift your hips up off of the block, pressing into your front foot and your back knee. So both hands are on the blocks, and then just start to bring your right foot closer in towards the back knee. Working towards half splits, and then start to come into low lunge. The right knee bends, right knee is over the ankle. From here, plant your hands down and step it back into downward facing dog. Good. Let's just take one full breath to reset before we try that on the other side. Left foot will step softly in between the hands, top of the mat, to bring the right knee down. From here, you can use the blocks or not, but we're just going to start to straighten the leg and then bend it once again. Moving a little bit faster now than we did earlier in class. Let's just do this 2 more times. From here, let's stay in half splits. You can stay here, or when you are ready, you can move on by bringing the left foot farther out in front of you towards the top of your mat. And then you can tuck the right toes under and see if you can bring the right knee and the right leg farther back behind you. Move slowly and work with your breath. If you would like to, you can place one of those blocks underneath your left hip, and then you can use that other block for your hand. Sit up nice and tall wherever you are. And then can you bring the right hip forward and the left hip back? Just a small adjustment there. Let's stay here for about 3 breaths. Wherever you are in your pose is great. And if you're taking a different pose, that is fine too. You can be in child's pose or anything else that feels good to you. Okay, coming out of this pose just like we came into it, pressing some weight into the left foot and the right foot, the right toes are tucked under. Can you lift your hip off of that block? And then can you bring your right knee and your left foot towards one another? Just slowly going bit by bit until you come back into half splits, and then bend your left knee. Left knee is over top of the ankle. You can place the blocks off to the side, plant your hands down, and then step back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here in your downward facing dog. Find any movement that you like. Good, bring your knees down and make your way all the way down onto your back. Once you are on your back, we'll work into a bridge pose just to release the hip flexors and the legs, just to reset things before we close off our class. So bring the feet towards the hips. Feet are about hip distance apart. And then when you are ready, press down into your feet to lift the hips up towards the sky. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Can you press a little bit more weight into your feet? And can you think about dragging your feet towards your hips to engage the hamstrings a little bit more? Good. Lower your hips down. From here, bring your arms out into a T. Bring your legs up to 90 degrees and release them over towards the right-hand side. Supine twist. Option to bring the right hand on top of the left leg. Option to look towards the left hand or to look wherever you prefer. Take one more breath. Start to bring yourself back through center. Release your legs over towards the left-hand side. You can bring the left hand to the right knee, to the right thigh. You can also look towards the right hand. Otherwise, you can look wherever feels good for you. Last breath in this twist. Release your left arm long out to the side. Bring your legs back through center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Give yourself a hug. Thank yourself for coming to your mat and for moving your body. And then release everything long. Allow your body to soften down and rest into your Shavasana. Allow yourself to get comfortable here. So if there's anything that you need to do to find a little bit more ease in your pose, take a moment, take some time to do that. And then eventually coming to a place of stillness. Noticing how it feels for the body to be still. Feel your breath slowing down. Please know that whatever happened or whatever didn't happen for you in your practice today is okay. whether you achieved the splits or not. Doesn't really matter. It matters that you stepped onto your mat. You made this time for yourself. It matters that you chose to move your body. You worked with your breath. And you worked towards something. Give yourself some credit, some gratitude, and some recognition for all of your effort, for your hard work, for your time, your energy, and your patience. Acknowledge how far you have come. And notice how this all feels. Just notice. Release and drop any expectations of your practice and of yourself. Work towards accepting things exactly as they are. Begin to bring your awareness back into the room that you are in, the walls around you. As you are ready, you can bring some movement back into your body. Perhaps wiggling the fingers and toes, maybe rotating the wrists and the ankles. When you are ready, you can reach the arms up overhead, stretching long from the fingers all the way down to the toes. And then hug your knees into your chest, or wrap your arms around your legs, and rock from side to side. Make your way over towards one side, using one arm as a pillow for your head if you like. And then gently press yourself up, coming into a seated position. Thank you so very much for sharing your practice with me, for joining me for this class today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it felt good in your body. If you would like to support my YouTube channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, give the video the thumbs up, and maybe share it with someone. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate all of this. I hope you have a wonderful day. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.